Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to episode 22. Believe it or not, Gary, of the Fighters Rep podcast. And we got a lot to talk about, Gary, because the heavyweight division, courtesy of Saudi Arabia, it's definitely Riyadh season. We got to give them credit. We got to give credit where credit is due. It's moving.
I want to thank your brothers.
Bro, it's moving, and we got Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou, which is just crazy. I mean, would you have believed that fight would have been made 6 months to a year ago? I don't think so. And we got on the undercard Deontay Wilder versus Zhang. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I thought it was Zhang because his nickname is Big Bang, so I thought Big Bang Zhang, but I might be wrong there. But either way, two absolutely crazy fights, Gary. I mean, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it. You know, we spoke about it briefly today on the phone. I wanted your thoughts. Let's start with Wilder versus Zhang, since that's going to be on the undercard. Then we'll move to the main event.
Well, first of all, I would have thought before that the AJ and the Ngannou fight could happen. I'm just gonna start. We're gonna say that real quick. I would have thought that before.
A year ago, maybe?
A year ago, when they were talking about him fighting Wilder or him fighting Fury, they were talking about all those guys. So I'm like,
yeah, but
maybe.
I didn't think it would actually come to fruition. Like, I thought it was just talk. You know what I mean? But
well, I mean, you had Connor. You had Connor. You had all this crazy stuff happening. So it was not the question. But after the Fury thing, I didn't think it was going to happen because I thought it was like a one-off. But I guess, okay, whatever. I'm wrong. But back to the Wilder thing with how do you say his name again?
Zhang.
I know who he is.
I'm gonna say Zhang. It's like
Zhang?
almost like schlong without the L. Zhang.
Well, I mean, I don't see Wilder winning this fight, and it ain't just because of his previous performance. It's partly because of that, but not just because of that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, Zhang can punch. He knocked out Joy Joyce twice. I mean, laid him out. And he's not just a puncher. He can box. And that's why Joe Joyce lost against him. Because he can box. I can punch and I can box. Yeah. And so I just when you see him, you know, I just think he's a better boxer and he's a big puncher. And he's bigger than Deontay too. So he's bigger, better boxer, bigger puncher. I mean, you always got to give Deontay Wilder a puncher's chance because he has the bomb. So you give him a puncher's chance if he can ever catch, if he can ever land that. But Fury just showed you what to do with him. Then you would have had Parker just show you what to do with him. And Parker ain't got the power Zhang got. Zhang, I was saying Zhang. I was calling Zhang. People don't correct me.
No, he don't. No, he don't.
You know, he don't have power. No, man. So I don't even. It would have been a better idea to have him fight Joe Joyce, who is a power puncher like him.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's not much of a boxer like that. Or you can just see who power wins.
Coming off of a loss as well makes a little bit more sense for those guys.
Yep. So you can redeem yourself. And it's still a threat. Joe Joyce is still a guy who was a threat.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because he has power. And so, but he's easier to hit than all these other guys. So I don't know. What you think?
I always like the idea of a guy coming off a loss fighting another guy coming off a loss if they're both high-level guys, you know? I think we touched on this earlier today, right? I don't know what the handlers were thinking. I mean, I don't know. Deontay Wilder for a while for me has been kind of like erratic and not the best, I would say, at, making decisions. And that's what I feel based on the stuff that comes out of his mouth, right? Because listen, I like being you historically, like we liked him. Yeah. I don't know how you felt about him after all the excuses and stuff. But for me, like some of those excuses were like
Wild.
Like Cat Williams running a 4.140 a la Bo Jackson. Like I just can't. I can't get on board. You built that boat. I'm not getting on board that boat. It's a little leaky. I see leaks coming up like in the cartoons, you know. So
Hey, but like Cat Williams, it's people who actually believe that
100%.
Cat Williams can run a 4.3 and that Deontay Wilder got drugged or something. People believe
No,
that.
Doc. No,
So
Doc. I heard him say 4-1. I didn't even hear 4-3. I heard 4-1.
he said 4.3.
Bro.
He said 4. He
But
said
whatever
4.3,
it is.
a sub 4.4, or something like that. Then he posted a video.
And he ran the basketball court. His goofy friend recorded a 4.47 or something on the phone. I said, "Oh my god!" I'm gonna make a
A
video.
basketball court ain't even 40 yards. A basketball court ain't even 40 yards. But that's not.
I'm gonna make a video of myself running down the driveway and have my son type up 4.1 on there. But my point is, like, back to the point, right? We go off on a tangent here, guys. Sometimes.
Everybody's talking about Cat, so whatever.
But my point is, like, you don't make the best decisions, I don't think, you know, but maybe it's influenced by the finances. I mean, I would imagine the amount of money that's being dangled in front of their faces, you know, like a big ass carrot from Saudi Arabia is probably worth something like many big ass carrots. So I just think it's too much money on the line, maybe. But I don't like the fight for Wilder. I don't like the fight for Wilder. It's you just lost. You didn't look good. You have been inactive. You know, you've got a puncher's chance of beating someone, and you're definitely not technically on the level of a lot of these guys. And you're picking a guy coming off 2 losses against one of the better. Listen, Joe Joyce was like top 3 or 4, man, at least in my opinion. Joe Joyce was top 3 or 4 when Zhang beat him, you know, at least top 5. So you're going to pick him after losing to Joseph Parker, who doesn't have the power or size of Zhang. I'm not even sure Joseph Parker can box like Zhang. I'm not even sure Joseph Parker can box like Zhang. I said what I said. Listen, he's a good boxer, but let me read you some credentials, right? From Zhang. 2008 silver medalist in the Olympic Games, Gary. 2008 silver World Championships in Chicago and Milan in 2007, 2009, got the bronze. Gold medalist at the World Combat Games in Beijing. Gold medalist in the Asia Games multiple times. You know, so this guy's no joke, man. To win a silver medal at the Olympics back in 2008, this guy's been putting work in for a very long time. This guy's seasoned. This guy's a seasoned amateur boxer. And not just that, he hits really hard from what I can see. He hits really hard, and he's durable, bro. He's got a big ass head. He's durable. He's 200.
He's been through some wars.
Bro, 260 something pounds. What is it? He weighed in his last fight something like 256 or 260. He's a big
guy. He's a big guy.
80-inch reach. You know, he's just a big solid.
Damn, I didn't even know that. I didn't know he had 80-inch reach.
Yeah,
Jesus.
bro. This guy's
but like I've seen him in different fights, and he definitely can box. I think he got outboxed by how you see his name, Heinrich or something. All these other names from these other countries, I have horrible time doing.
Hrgović, right? Yeah. So his only loss is a unanimous decision to Hrgović, who, in my opinion, probably.
I thought Hrgović won.
Well, I also thought Hrgović was going to get the Joshua fight, which we'll talk about next. He probably deserved the Joshua fight, you know, but they're giving it to Ngannou. But yeah, I mean, it was a close fight. And Hrgović is like the other best guy. You know, right now, if you ask me, Gary, it's Fury in the heavyweight division. It's Fury, it's Usyk, and then it's Zhang and Hrgović and
you don't think Joshua was above this?
Maybe Wilder. Oh yeah. So yeah, Fury. I would say Fury,
Usyk.
Yeah, Fury, Usyk, Joshua, and then I don't know what order it's going to be, but it's going to be Zhang, Hergovich, and then Parker and Wilder. I mean, and maybe even still Joe Joyce after those guys. That's who it is at the top right now, man. Those are the guys at the top right now. In
Well,
my
let me ask you
opinion.
something. How far since you're talking about the top, how far you think Big Baby is?
Oh
Not
man,
not 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 the one that just got beat. The
Jared Anderson. You're
younger
talking about Jared
Jared Anderson.
Anderson.
It's Jarrell and Jared. Jared Anderson. There we go.
I think Big Baby is. I would say top 10. I would say I would put him after a guy like Joe Joyce. You know, he's gonna have to beat a Joe Joyce
I think
to
he
to
beat Joe Joyce. I will put him in
maybe
my
maybe
list. I will put him above Joe Joyce, but I wouldn't put him above the other people you named yet.
yeah
I
yeah
wouldn't put him above the other people you named yet. Just
yeah.
until he has to fight a little bit more.
Yeah. He's still, and we forgot, there's still Andy Ruiz too, who's a good fighter. He's just not
Oh
active.
yeah, no, I wouldn't
He's
put him
not
over
active.
Andy Ruiz either.
Yeah. Frank Sanchez. I think Frank Sanchez. I,
I
I,
haven't
I
seen
would
him.
I would say Frank Sanchez for me and Jared Anderson would be a really competitive fight.
Actually, I put Andrew Ruiz over Parker and Wilder. But now, like you said, he hasn't been boxing for a while,
Yeah.
like having fights, and that's his own doing. I don't know who, like him and Wilder. I don't know who tells them what to do. I don't, like it's
It
like
must be the same guy. It must be the same guy.
I,
Giving horrible
I mean,
advice, bro. You give horrible ass advice, whoever you are.
it's like I don't know it's because I don't think that like Zhang is a big enough name that it mattered if he fought him or Joey Joyce. It was going to be the same thing. You can
Yeah.
promote both of them. Both of them have power. Both of them are the same. Both of them aren't really known like out there like that. So it's just going to be same bad
Yeah.
regardless. But
Yeah.
one is an easier fight than the other one. So I don't
Yeah.
know why you wouldn't pick Joe Joyce to do this. And I can understand Anthony Joshua like, yo, let me go fight this MMA fighter who showed a good performance against Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I think I can beat him. And I think they're trying to set back up it again because the first time it got ruined. So they're
Yeah.
saying, all right, let's do it again. Wilder, don't mess this up again. Let's
Right.
do it again so we can get the big bag. So to me, if you're doing it again, why set yourself up with somebody like that?
Yeah. Yeah. That guy's a monster, man. I don't like that fight for Wilder at all. And I'm always preaching. I'm always preaching on this channel like we want the best guys to fight the best
Yeah,
guys, right?
yeah,
So I'm not
yeah.
so I'm not like dissing Wilder. He's got a lot of courage for taking this fight, or maybe it's just a
A
lot
lot
of
of
money.
heart.
But you got to fight guys that are in the same space as you right now, and I just on the same level as you right now, and I just Zhang is man, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that after losing
Yeah,
to
no,
Parker. After losing to
yeah,
Parker, you're gonna. So let me ask you: you would put Parker over Zhang? Would you put Parker over Zhang?
no, no. I mean, because Joe Joyce beat the hell, and I don't mean to do the triangle thing where people goes, well, he beat him, and this person beat him, and this. But I seen Parker against Joe Joyce, and he got overwhelmed, and he got knocked out, he got whooped, and I seen Zhang against Joe Joyce, and he schooled Joe Joyce. He
Yeah.
schooled him. He beat him twice.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about though. So you would put Zhang over Parker.
Yeah, most
Okay. The other
definitely.
thing I wanted to ask you was, you mentioned Parker and Ruiz, but they actually fought and Parker got the decision. It was a close fight. I don't know if you know that. They fought. So
Where did they fight?
back a few years ago, Parker was actually, I think it was the WBO heavyweight champ, and Andy Ruiz fought him, and it was a super close fight. A lot of people thought Ruiz won. I actually thought Ruiz might have won that fight, but
What?
the decision went to Parker.
Why
So
don't I remember that?
yeah, so I wanted to ask you because it was kind of a fight that went under the radar for a lot of people. So I wanted to ask you, like, Ruiz or Parker, who do you have I feel like you have a little bit more respect for Ruiz at this point, or would you say Parker?
Well, Parker's been the more active fighter.
Yeah.
I like if Ruiz was active, I would still go with Ruiz because Ruiz hands are quick, combination punches. He hits hard. He throws in between punches and things of that nature. So but because Ruiz, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. He's too
It's kind
inactive.
of like I don't know what he is now.
Yeah, he's
So
too inactive, and then with Parker coming off that Wilder win recently, so recently, I would have to put Parker above Ruiz as well. We got Eduardo Defao in here. Shout out to Dudu, and he says, "Hi, my dear experts that say that a guy with 33.3% of KO in his last 3 fights, or 60% of KO in his last 5, or 42 in his 7 in his last 10 fights is a big puncher." I'm not really sure who you're talking about here,
I
Eduardo,
think he's talking about Zane. Is he talking
and
about that?
and that say that someone that believe he isn't a puncher know nothing about boxing. With Andy, with don't know, can give us a great fight or a very bad fight. Not really sure who you're talking about here, Eduardo. So if you can clarify, that would be helpful. Oh, he's talking about
Zhang?
Regis Prograis. I'm not sure why he's bringing up Regis. Maybe we mentioned him being a big puncher in the past. I don't know. He is a big puncher, in my opinion, but
I mean, the
but
boxing
anyway,
world thinks he's a big puncher, but yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so I think we're on the same page, man. Like, not the best decision to fight Zhang right now for Wilder. Um, I don't think I agree with you. That's a very interesting point you brought up. That he's not going to get more of a reward really beating Zhang than beating a guy like Joyce right now. I mean, because Zhang's not really like a name like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anything, Joyce is probably still a bigger name for some people than
Yeah.
Zhang is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't see it as far as a good idea for him coming off of a loss. But if he wins that fight, I mean, if he wins
I mean,
that
he's
fight,
back in the mix. He's
he's
back in
right
the
back
mix.
in the mix. Yeah, he's right back in the mix. But like you said, I think it would have been smarter to fight a guy like Joyce. And I
Jojo.
think Zhang beats Wilder, man. I think Zhang beats him. And
Yeah,
I think
me
you
too.
agree with that
If
too.
I had to
Yeah.
put my money, I would put it there. And I don't want to say it because I'm not a Wilder hater. I like Wilder. You
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know from way back years ago when he was first. I told you, I said, man, I like him. He just needs to refine some things, work on
Yeah.
some things, but it never happened. It's just relied on the
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
and as you get older, I like to say like I like to always talk about like Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins. Roy Jones did things that weren't technically sound because he was gifted and he could do that. Same thing with like Deion Sanders in football. Because he ran the 4-2, he can do some things that you shouldn't, that other
Yeah.
DBs can't do because he's special.
Just a
And
little
that's what
slower, a little bit slower than Cat Williams. Go ahead.
but I'm just saying, when you're a special talent, you have something special about you, like Wilder has power.
Yeah.
Roy had, I mean, he was special all around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You rely on that special. But somebody like Bernard Hopkins, who is not as dynamic as Roy and things of that nature, aged better than Roy because he didn't rely on being a super athlete.
Athleticism. Right. Right. Right.
Roy did. So when Roy, I mean, not saying that Roy was a technical, he didn't know his shit and all this. Roy did. He was a very smart boxer. Roy was an excellent. He's my favorite, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when his athleticism waned, he didn't have, it started to show his flaws.
Yeah.
Same thing. Deion speed slowed down and started showing what his flaws were. And Bernard Hopkins, he never had that athleticism. So forever, he's just like, I'm gonna figure out how to beat you, and I'm gonna beat
Yeah.
you this way, and I'm gonna do this. I'm not the fastest, not the strongest, whatever, but I'm smart, and I'll beat
Yeah.
you this way. So as he got older and he started getting a little slower, he still knew how to beat you.
Yeah. 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 Eduardo Dufal says great fights at heavyweight. Fury, Usyk, Joshua, Zhang. Also another opportunity to Andy, Parker, Wilder, Joyce. I agree, man. The heavyweight division, ever since Tyson Fury walked onto the scene and beat Klitschko, this thing has just been in disarray, man. This thing has just been absolutely crazy, and I think it's really brought a lot of attention back to boxing when Fury did that. So we're on the same page. Wilder versus Zhang. Let's move on to AJ versus Ngannou. But before we do that, guys, Fighters Rep 21, February 17th. Fighters Rep 22, March 2nd. 21 is in Pompano Beach, Florida, and 22 is in the beautiful Commerce Casino in Los Angeles. Get your tickets at fightersrep.com or join the channel to watch the event live. It's the only way to watch it live unless you get your tickets. Subscribe to the channel, join the channel, become an exclusive member of Knucklehead Nation, and help us continue to build and support kickboxing, the most exciting sport on the planet. We upload all the fights for you guys after the events live. Check them out on the YouTube channel. I promise you guys, you won't see a more entertaining combat sport than Fighters Rep Kickboxing. So let's move on to AJ versus Ngannou, Gary. Another fight, I'm a little bit shocked. I'm a little bit shocked that this fight got made. Not so much anymore considering Ngannou's performance against Fury, because that was shocking to me, very shocking to me that fight got made, considering the disparity in experience. But with Ngannou's performance, I'm totally okay with this fight. But what do you think about this fight? I'm curious on your thoughts about this fight.
Well, I think AJ is going to take it more serious than Tyson Fury did. And I think, I'm not to say Tyson Fury just watched like, whatever. But I don't care what Tyson Fury says. If most boxers think of MMA fighters as like, that come over to boxing, like,
easy work. Yeah.
It's easy work. Like, they know how to fight, but they don't know how to box. You know what I mean? So I don't care what he says. I don't believe him. That I respect him and all that. No, you didn't. Okay. But now I think that Joshua's saying, he knocked down Fury. He knocked down Fury. I got to take this serious. So I think Joshua's going to come in ready. But from watching Francis' first boxing match, I was very impressed with him, being that he didn't do this for a long time. His patience, his knowing distance a little bit, countering and everything like that. Like, only thing that was kind of lacking, well, I can say only thing, but one of the things that was kind of lacking was the pacing. He didn't throw a little bit more. I think maybe if he did a little bit more, he was a little too patient.
Yeah.
But that kind of hurt him in scorecards because in boxing is a point thing. So if I just hit you with jab, bap, 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 it don't have to be very damaging. But if I'm getting points and if you're not doing anything, now it's different if you're doing something, hitting me with good shots. You may not be throwing as much as me, but if you're hitting me with a lot more shots, and I think he'll learn that, and I think that's what he's learning. But I mean, the way AJ looked last fight looked like old AJ, where he was walking you like, let's throw punches. But Tyson Fury said Ngannou can hit, so I got to take Tyson Fury's word. He's like, he can hit. So AJ has to be careful of that too. I mean, I want to see what Francis is doing. If I had to bet, I'm betting AJ. Just because of the experience and everything, I'm betting AJ. But I ain't ruling it out like I did the first time with Tyson Fury.
I gotta agree with you, man. I don't rule this guy out at all. And you mentioned one thing that just, I don't know, it just made me visualize it when you said it, right? Is old AJ is back. And so what I think when you say that is this guy that comes forward, seeks and destroys. He just comes forward and gets you out of there. And I thought to myself, well, that's the perfect fight for Ngannou as well, right? Because if you try out slugging and out toughing and out brawling Ngannou in a way that's not strategic, bro, I haven't seen anyone have success with that. Nobody's had success with that.
Well, see, here's the thing with Ngannou that I will say is that sounds like the perfect fight. Somebody's coming to him, and now he can counter them, he can hit back, and they can power for power. But Ngannou said Tyson Fury can hit hard. And
Yeah.
he already acknowledged that. Like boxers hit harder than MMA fighters. He's acknowledged this. Well, Joshua hits harder. I mean, I don't know. I didn't take a punch from none of them. But just what it looks like when he had Klitschko head looking like a fucking.
Bro, you could have put like 20 neck rings, like those tribal neck rings on Klitschko with that
Yeah.
punch, bro.
You know what I mean? And I've seen him hit guys, and he can hit. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you thought Tyson Fury can hit, where do you feel how AJ hits? And so,
But he didn't
yeah,
hurt. He didn't hurt Ngannou
no,
at all, man. I mean,
no, he didn't.
Ngannou's head is like a freaking like a brick wall, man. I mean, I don't know. I think that guy's just built different. Um, there's some guys I guess there's some guys you just can't hurt. We'll see if Joshua can crack that armor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I
I
haven't
mean,
seen
I,
anyone do it. The only person I've seen stun him a little bit, it looked like he was stunned, was when Stipe hit him with that shot in their second fight.
oh
And he
yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I remember
stunned
that.
him a
Yes.
little. It was like a half a stun. You know what I
Uh,
mean? And then Stipe
hey,
went in, and then Stipe went in to get him, and Stipe got clobbered.
but
So
here's the thing is that I like I've learned a long time ago. Even when you like, man, that dude has a chin, man. That dude can take whatever.
yeah,
It's all no, Mayorga. You stick his face out, get hit.
that's
Oh, I
true.
can take whatever.
That's true.
Tito showed him, no, you can't. Sugar
Yeah,
Shane showed him, no, you can't. You
yeah,
can't
yeah.
take. You're human just like me. You
Yep,
can't take whatever. And for Deontay Wilder can take a fucking punch.
bro. Yeah, he can.
You
Yeah,
see him run by numerous people, and he's still on his feet.
yeah,
You gotta kill that dude. You gotta cut his head off.
yeah,
But I'm just saying, but it still remains the same thing is that you're still human and anybody can get hurt, anybody can get touched. Duran. You thought Duran would go in there and okay, try to tough it out. Then he met
Hearn.
Marvin Hagler
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
Hearns, and
yeah,
yeah, it was a different story then. You get
yeah, yeah.
so it's always
Hearns,
somebody who
Hearns
can
had
knock
that,
you.
Hearns had that long, wiry body and that leverage. You know what I mean? Like he
But
both.
didn't Hagler knock him out?
I think they fought. I think Hagler beat him by like a dominant decision. I could be wrong, but
Maybe yeah.
Hearns laid him out. At the same time, though, like Duran was a lightweight who
Yeah.
moved up significantly. So like
Well,
I
Sugar
don't.
Ray Leonard did too, though.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't really like put too much. I don't really hate Duran too much for getting knocked out by Hearns. But Hearns, I mean, and Hearns, I hear people say Hearns was the hardest puncher pound for pound, like one of the hardest in history. So for sure, I mean, you're right. And then you made me think of when Margarito fought Shane Mosley. Like I thought Margarito was a zombie. I thought you needed to like hit him with a sledgehammer to like stop him. And Shane Mosley like knocked him out bad. So yeah, like you're saying, man, everybody, at some point that chin breaks for everybody. We'll
Yeah.
see if AJ can get it done. Man, how do you think the fight goes though? Like what's the strategy for each guy? So because now you made me curious. You made me curious now. Like I wasn't thinking about it like that, but now I'm saying to myself, well, if AJ comes forward the way he does, typically the way he did in the last fight, fighting according to his DNA, man, that's actually Ngannou's best chance. I wonder, like, what's the strategy for a guy like Ngannou? Maybe box him? I don't know.
I wouldn't box him. I would do what George Foreman said, like about not about this fight, but I heard George Foreman say sometimes you gotta make it ugly. You gotta make it a brawl. That's the especially you can't try to outbox somebody who's a boxer. Not saying AJ is a boxer, but he's a better boxer
No, I'm
than
saying,
Francis.
what would AJ's strategy be against Ngannou? That's what I'm more curious about. You know what I mean? Because we
I
know
would come
Ngannou.
forward like he did his last fight. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
come forward just like he did his last fight because we seen what he did when uh Tyson Fury boxed and tried to jab and was like trying to see, okay, what you're gonna do, and he just stayed patient and waited for that punch. But what do you do when you can't stay patient because the guy is pressing you? The
Yeah.
guy is actually throwing punches, hard punches at you, and he's not. And so, do you pick up the pace of what you're doing, or do you just, say, I'm going to stay patient? Because it's hard to stay patient when you get punched in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. I'm sure it is.
Like, hey, this dude is hitting me and it hurts. I can't
Yeah.
stay patient and wait. But he had pretty good, and that's another thing Francis impressed me with. He had pretty solid defense, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like he was just getting picked on. He had solid defense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I agree. His issues seem to be with pace. I just feel like his best opportunity is, that inside fighting. I mean, that close fighting with Joshua. That's going to be his best chance. And so I think to
yep.
myself, if Joshua remains with Ben Davison, who I think he should, because he did a fantastic job bringing out the best in him in the last fight. I don't know if that's the best strategy. I would almost mix it up. I would see how the boxing goes, and I would see how the walking forward goes. It's just scary though, man. I mean, you've seen this guy hit people so hard. He dropped Fury. He looked like he hurt Fury in that fight. So this
Fury
guy can
felt,
get you out of there, man. This guy can get you out of there.
but that was Fury to me. I still say that was Fury playing around, not being as alert, and he wasn't hitting him with the shots that Joshua would hit him with. Like
Yeah,
when he got caught, he threw a 1-2 and dipped. I can't remember what side. I think it was left side or something that got caught with the shot as he dipped in. I mean, dipped to the left. He got caught on the side of the head.
yeah, yeah,
So I think, if you look at his eyes, it's almost like, oh shit, this dude
yeah,
can hit. He got me.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it was kind of like, all right, he can hit. I noticed now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Eduardo Dufal says, "Can you see Ngannou defeating Joshua? Big surprise if he does it." Um, I think it's a surprise if he does it. I'm sure he's going to go in there as the underdog, despite what he did against Tyson Fury. But I can definitely see him defeating Joshua. My opinion. What do you think about that, Gear?
I give him a chance, a puncher's chance, and just more than a puncher's chance. I give him a puncher's chance against Fury. Give him more than a
Yeah,
puncher's chance. I give him a chance because he proved that, hey, he wasn't. He took it serious, man. He took it
yeah.
serious,
And he went
and
to and he went to and he went to the decision, dude. Like he went to 12 rounds, didn't he?
I didn't think it was 10, wasn't it?
Was it 10 or well, whatever it was? Like that's really a big deal for an MMA fighter to
Yeah, hell yeah.
get through it like that. 10 or
Because
12, whatever it was, doesn't
you
matter.
seen Diaz in there. He was looking like he was tired, even though
Yeah,
he got super energy. He looked like he was tired and he
yeah.
was gassed. And you seen other MMA fighters like it's tough, man. That's a
Yeah.
different world going 12 rounds, bro.
I want to see AJ against a big puncher, and Ngannou can surprise him with a knockdown. And he says, but one punch of Ngannou can bring AJ memories of the Andy fight. And that's true, man. That is absolutely true. And gosh, what a shame, Andy Ruiz, Gary. I mean, for us to like
You can fight.
basically never see him again. I mean, he's only fought, as far as I can remember. Who has he fought other than
Twice.
Luis
He didn't
Ortiz?
he,
It was Luis Ortiz, right? King Kong
but
Ortiz.
yeah, didn't he fight
Oh, and he fought Chris Areola, and he looked
Areola?
horrible.
That's what I was thinking. Areola, that's who he fought. He fought
Bro,
Areola.
those are the only two people he's fought since Anthony Joshua. Dog, how do you go and beat Anthony Joshua in 2019? I'm walking you through what happened here. You beat him in June of 2019. Then you come in, I don't know how many pounds, and lose to him also at the end of 2019 in December, right? And
Uh-huh.
since then has only fought two fights. Once in May of 2021, about a year and a half later against Chris Areola, where he looked really bad, in my opinion. And then he beat Luis Ortiz in September of 2022. Hasn't fought since then. So we're talking about like it's been another year and a half. I mean, you would think a guy in that position would have capitalized on the momentum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get the
But
bag, dude. Do something with your life. Go get a bag, bro. Go fight anyone.
what I mean, what was his coach with AJ? You know him. You had
Derek
him
James.
on, huh? No,
Derek
not
James.
Derek James. I'm talking about when he fought when he beat AJ.
Oh, Manny Robles. Manny
Yeah,
Robles.
Manny. You had him on here before and everything.
Yep.
And he mentioned some of the pitfalls that Andy Ruiz fell into after he beat AJ. He
Yeah,
felt
he
like
did.
he made it.
Yeah, he
He
did.
thinks he's the big fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Wilder's camp said he priced himself out of the fight. He could have been beating Wilder. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just I just don't think like I said, I don't know who manages him and who's giving him advice, but you like you said, you beat AJ. Even though you lost the second time, you still
Yeah.
had your name out there, dude.
Yeah.
Like to me, one thing that Wilder is doing right is he's getting right back out there. I lost, get right back out there, give me another fight, and it's quick. I was like, damn, if I'm gonna fight again already, and then AJ, and it's kind of like you getting back out there. AJ lost, but guess what? AJ did get back on the road and start fighting people, and doing things, and you can think you're the big fish, but if you don't consistently fight, you get forgotten really quick.
Yeah.
Just like we were
Yeah.
doing the list, and we said, "Oh yeah, Andy Ruiz." They forgot
You're,
about you.
we did. We forgot about it. You think you're a big fish? You end up a scallop if you don't fight enough, man. So,
I mean,
so yeah.
I think it's same thing at 147 with Keith Thurman. You don't fight enough, so he could have been much bigger. And I understand some of his injuries and things of that nature, but I
You know,
mean,
I don't know what's the case with Andy Ruiz, but there is one thing, and I know it affected Keith Thurman. There's one thing that I've seen as a promoter, bro, and there ain't nothing like it to derail a career, Gary. There ain't nothing like it, bro. And I call it the dreaded girlfriend, bro. Once a dude gets a girlfriend, it is over. Like you guys start gaining weight, guys they lose the motivation, they get depressed. It's like, bro, just stay single until you're done with your fight career.
and Channing Crowder did that with in football. Channing
Yeah.
Crowder, he didn't get a girlfriend until he retired from football because he was like, I ain't gonna be faithful. I'm not gonna be this, nothing this. I'm just gonna do my thing, and then after I'm done with my career, I'll focus on getting a wife and kids and all that stuff.
Smart guy,
Mm.
smart guy. That's what these guys should be doing. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still trying to get over Andy Ruiz's decision making. Another thing I wanted to talk about, since we're talking about decisions, right? This is something I wanted to touch on with you again. Did you see what happened with Tony Weeks?
No, what happened? I didn't see.
So Tony Weeks posted on X, Twitter, whatever the hell they call it now, these goofballs, that I guess the guy Lawson had been examined twice, and the doctors determined that he had an aneurysm before the fight. Like, yeah,
What?
like he had previously had an aneurysm in two different examinations, and it took like a third examination maybe for them to come up as negative for the aneurysm. So I guess like that was in his mind when he stopped the fight, and that's a serious thing. I mean, people die from that all the time, and I'm
Hmm.
sure when he saw that, that jab, which like we mentioned on the show wasn't very
Yeah.
heavy, have that sort of impact on the guy and start, saw him start walking backwards. Maybe it makes it a little bit more understandable
Well,
for.
George, we're changing my percentage. 100% on De La Hoya
I was
tomorrow.
just, I was just gonna say I might be dropping it to 49% for Tony Weeks now.
I'm going 100% on De La Hoya and Bernard. 100%.
Oh my god!
100. Because you put a guy in there that failed two tests against it. I mean, he had to get a third. You want to kill a guy? Now,
Yeah, yeah.
I've had a close friend,
Let
older
me let
guy,
me
but he was my
so
friend. He died of an aneurysm.
yeah, so let me be accurate, right? For the sake of
All
the
right.
channel, let me be accurate. Tony Weeks is His thing said, what the public didn't know, that prior to the fight, oh, and by the way, it looks like De La Hoya responded, Golden Boy responded to the statement. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to read that. We're going to read that now too. But Tony Weeks said, what the public didn't know, that prior to the fight, they did a brain scan on him. He's talking about Lawson. And it came up that he had an aneurysm. And they did a test again, and the same aneurysm came up. Another doctor was brought in and gave him the same examination, and he tested negative for the aneurysm. So they cleared him to fight, right? That's what Tony Weeks said. And it looks like Golden Boy responded to Tony Weeks. I want to see what that response is. Yeah. But, it looks like what they're saying is that basically he was cleared, something like that. I don't know. I'm not getting much from it right now. But, at the end of the day, I mean, what do you think of that? What do you think of that?
Like I said, I had a close friend. I mean, I had a close friend. He died of brain aneurysm. I had another close friend, and I mean, both of them are, a little bit in their 60s or whatever. Were in their 60s. One and the other one's still alive. He had an aneurysm, so it's a very serious thing. So I can get why Tony Weeks said, "Hey, man, I had it in the back of my head. If you know anything about, aneurysms and things of that nature, brain aneurysms, and
Yeah.
so." I now I'm even looking harder at Golden Boy. Like, dude, you put this one, like you said, he shouldn't have been in the ring with him in the first place, as far as skill wise. And then
Yeah.
the man had problems, far as like, brain might have a brain aneurysm. Man, I don't want to hear anything about Boots again with Virgil. You're fighting people with brain aneurysms that might, well, he's cleared, but that, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks like also the Nevada State Athletic Commission has issued a statement as of today. And they said that on January 6th, a contest was held between Ortiz and Frederick Lawson in Las Vegas, Nevada. The contest was under the jurisdiction of Nevada State Athletic Commission. The health and safety of the unarmed combatants that compete in the state are paramount to the commission. All contestants in the event were subject to full medical examinations and were cleared by medical experts to compete without restrictions. The commission and its executive director will continue its ongoing practice of reviewing its officials' performance during and after an event. And it says its officials' performance, apostrophe S. So I'm thinking maybe they're going to be reviewing Tony Weeks' performance, and maybe that was his way to kind of deflect. But I don't think he would. That doesn't sound like something
Yeah,
he would
something
have
he'll
just
make up.
invented. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It probably happened because you can get, okay, you got cleared, but it took like how many doctors to before they said, okay, you're good. It's same thing like I go back to football because that's what I played. That's what my main sport that I know about. But like Drew Brees, the Dolphins doctor did not clear Drew Brees, and that's why he never became a Dolphin quarterback. He went to
Yeah.
New Orleans, they cleared him. Now we're finding out years later, Drew Brees can't lift his arm over his head because it was what the first doctor said. It just took longer. It took longer to show itself to actually because he told him that his shoulder it was gonna eventually not be able to use he said a little faster than what happened, but now Drew Brees comes out and said, I can't even throw a football with this arm. I have to throw with my kids with the other arm.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, yeah, they clear you. You can always keep going to doctor and doctor and doctor to try to clear somebody. You know what I mean?
People will do
So
that, man. People will do that. People will do that.
yeah,
Unfortunately, people would do that. For me, I prefer no, man. I'm not trying to have a death in the ring at Fighters Rep. Fuck that, dude. Go take a break. Fuck all that. I don't want nothing to do with that. It looks like Golden Boy denied the claims made by Tony Weeks, and they offered a brief public statement. Looks like it's only 2 sentences, and it says Frederick Lawson was cleared by Nevada State Athletic Commission sanctioned doctor to fight on Saturday night. All other questions should be referred to NSAC, which is the acronym for Nevada State Athletic Commission. So they're not saying one way or another. They're just saying he was cleared by a doctor. They're not saying that it took a couple tries. We called in, Dr. Hialeah of Florida.
Basically, what that said to me when they say that he was cleared by the Nevada Commission and all that.
By a doctor.
A doctor. What that says to me is yes, he did a couple times come up negative, but we got somebody to clear him. We're off the hook because Nevada, their commission is all on them. They cleared him. This is what it looks like. Hey, they cleared him. It ain't me. You know what I mean?
Problematic. It's problematic. It's problematic because, well, first and foremost, obviously the safety situation, right? You want to make sure that, if a guy's not cleared by one doctor, I mean, maybe it's a good idea to have another doctor.
Yeah, I don't
think it's a bad thing, But the way it's being presented, is making it's going to make it sound fishy for some people. So that's why, I think it could get a little bit ugly,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. That really made me change the percentage to 49 versus 51. No, but in all honesty, it did, it makes you think because we didn't know that. We didn't know he knew that. We didn't know what was in his head when he made that stoppage. And he says, I think he says there, I read in one of the statements that he saw the guy's eyes roll back.
Yeah.
So, I guess you got to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, but still for me, that was a very early stoppage. I didn't like the stoppage, but more than anything, I didn't like the opponent. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yep. So another thing I wanted to talk about today, right? And this is in my opinion, a huge fight. All right. For me, it's a huge fight. It's Beterbiev versus Smith. Did you know Beterbiev is fighting this weekend?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, I'm so excited about this. So Beterbiev is fighting. Go ahead.
I said I gotta catch it.
Bro, so Artur Beterbiev from Quebec, that's where the fight's happening in Canada. He's fighting Callum Smith. Remember Callum Smith, the really
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
UK, right. That fought Canelo.
Canelo.
They're going to be fighting for Beterbiev's WBC, WBO, and IBF light heavyweight titles. Beterbiev's got all the titles except the one that Dmitry Bivol has. So, for me, Beterbiev is that guy at light heavyweight. He really is that guy. I think what I'm talking about with Beterbiev, right? That guy's
I know what you're talking about. I'm waiting on you to finish so I can go.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch this fight, but
you are?
Because I just want to watch Beterbiev
knock him out,
beat the hell out of people. I like.
When you said who was fighting, I was like, well, he's gonna do the same thing that Canelo did to him, to wash him. But I was gonna ask you because I wasn't gonna go long on that. I know who's winning that fight. At least I think I know who's winning that fight. Beterbiev. I was gonna say, when do you think you get Bivol and him in the ring?
Say that again.
When do you think we get Bivol and him in the ring? Because that's what we want to see. That is what we want to see.
I agree. Maybe they're waiting for Beterbiev to slow down a bit. I mean, Bivol, 33 years old. Beterbiev, 38 years old. But the winner of that fight unifies that division, Gary.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So when you think it's gonna do, and do you know who you're picking if they do?
I don't know, man. Well, if they fought soon, it's going to depend because, again, he's 38 years old, but we're not talking about heavyweights. Like these other weight classes, they tend to age a little bit quicker, and they rely more a little bit on
athleticism, speed and athleticism,
Yeah. So I would say if it's sooner than later, man, I'll go with Beterbiev just because I nobody's gotten out of the fight with him. No, he's knocked out everybody he's ever fought. I mean,
I'm
his
going Bivol.
Gary, his record is 19-0 with 19 knockouts, bro. And look who he's knocked out: Anthony York, Joe Smith Jr., um, Marcus Brown, Adam Deans are okay. Gvadzik, Alexander Gvadzik, the guy that Teddy Atlas was coaching, was really good. He's knocked out Callum Johnson, who's a tough guy. Gabriel Campillo, former champion. Tavoris Cloud, former champion. So, I mean, this guy has been fighting tough guys all along. And as much as I appreciate Bivol's style, that bouncy in and out, I don't know. I haven't seen anyone make that style work against Beterbiev. He just walks you down and breaks you down. And I think he's used to that style because he's from that, Russian boxing school too. They're used to that style, but maybe with
I'm
time,
thinking.
if like a year or so passes and he ages a little more, I'll go with Bivol. But right now, if they fought tonight, I like Beterbiev.
I like Bivol.
Yeah.
I just think
You always gotta do this. You always gotta disagree with me.
I'm just saying. I like Bivol. I think he's a really smart, crafty fighter. And he has good defense. He's quick. His hands are quick. His feet are quick. You know me. I like guys with good, quick feet and quick hands. And he's really crafty. He knows how to put the pressure on you. He's not just gonna let you walk him down the whole time. Because I mean I can bring up Canelo and we'll say Canelo came up from a lower weight, but Canelo still I still think he is hard at that weight. I think he is hard at that weight. But I think Bivol and Canelo is one of the more crafty fighters there is out there right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Him, Bud.
He's still
In
a
a
pound
way,
for pound guy. He's still a pound for pound
yeah,
guy.
yeah. He's still a top, and he still hits hard even at 175 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Bivol, just watching him, I
He's
think
nice.
he
He
can.
got a nice
Yeah,
style.
he's
He's got
nice.
a nice
He's nice.
style.
He's nice. He's nice. He's growing on me more and more.
Yeah. He's got a good style. I just think his style, it works for him. He's like Coach D actually told me this. He's like that peekaboo style that Tyson did.
Yeah.
He says that shit doesn't work for anyone but a guy like Tyson. so,
Well, that's what I
so
seen
he
the guy sitting
said,
there say. Go ahead. I'm
so
sorry.
he said that well he said like a guy like Bivol with that style, he's the perfect like body type and athlete for that style, right? So that style works for him.
Mhm.
But I just feel like that style burns a lot of energy, and Beterbiev ain't going nowhere, bro. Beterbiev ain't going nowhere. You can't. I don't think I've even seen him hurt. I seen him knocked down. I'm not even sure if he was hurt or if it was a flash knockdown. I never really.
Mhm.
I don't know. That guy's like that
I
guy's
don't
built.
think Bivol hurts him. I
Have
don't
you
think
seen the way
Bivol
he
hurts him
does?
and knocks him
Have you
out.
seen the way he does push-ups? By the way, Beterbiev.
No, nah.
Okay. Keep talking. I'm gonna pull it up.
But no, yeah, no, I don't think he knocks him out. I don't think he hurts him.
Yeah.
I just think he outboxes him. He wins the fight. I think Bivol is strong enough to withstand, the power.
Yeah.
And so, I just see him winning that fight. He's a younger dude. He's, I would say, all around quicker.
Yeah.
It's faster. You know what I mean?
No, I hear
And
you. I hear you.
I'm done. I'm done. I learned my lesson at the Aerosmith Bud.
Well, listen, Beterbiev though is still he's not as quick as a Bivol, but a lot of the times guys that fight Beterbiev are a little bit quicker than him. You know what I mean? But he knows what he's doing in there, and he's super, super strong and durable. And I want you to see these push-ups. Look what he does to condition his hands and his wrists. I want you to see this shit because this shit to me is just absolutely nuts, man. Look at this. You'll appreciate this. You'll appreciate this. Here it is.
Okay.
Can you can see it? Look at this. Fist, wrist, fingers, hand. Fist, wrist, fingers, hand. And he's bouncing on his fingers, his wrist, his knuckles. Bro,
Listen,
that guy, this area of that guy's body is probably like metal. You know what I mean?
hey, that's a cool video. But this part right here,
That's
you
true.
ain't doing no exercises with none of this. None of this. You gotta still hit somebody. I mean, you can have all the power in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong, he can hit people. Don't get me wrong. He's not like a slouch or anything. He can definitely hit you and break your face and do all that stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we've seen Errol Spence give doctors work out here, okay? With broken noses and orbital bones. And Errol Smith was out here giving people work. But I mean, like, I just, and I'm not saying it's going to be a dominant. It'll be a good fight. I want to see it. I think it'll be a good fight. But I would go to Bivol if I had to pick.
Yeah, I would see it too, and I wouldn't. And even though I would be picking Beterbiev, I would not consider it me picking the less technical guy because I just think it's a different technique. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that's where I wanted to clarify the prediction with that. Look, let me put the prediction.
Well, see, I'm not even talking about technical.
This is the prediction, Fizz. So I just wanted to clarify. It has the jewels on it. It's got the money on it. I wanted to clarify that I can see, Beterbiev just being the better man. All right, back to normal. But yeah, as far as
I don't think it's technical. I'm more so the person because when I think both are smart fighters, great fighters, and they're both like on the same level, what separates them is then you got to add in athleticism, you got to add in speed, you got to add in power, which that will go to Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I would look at the feet and I would look at the hand speed because that's just going to accentuate what you have versus someone else.
No, I agree. So it sounds like we're both on the same boat about this weekend's prediction, Beterbiev versus Smith. As much as I respect Smith and his brothers for being such great fighters, I don't see Callum Smith surviving this,
Nope.
making it out this fight without getting knocked out. That's my opinion. I think he gets knocked out by round number 7. Round number 6 or 7. Yeah. 6 or 7.
I go 5. I'll top you. 5.
No, I totally understand. Well, knuckleheads, I appreciate you guys joining us. We've been at this for about an hour. Don't forget to get your tickets to Fighters Rep 21 on February 17th in Pompano Beach, Florida, and Fighters Rep 22 on March 2nd in Los Angeles, California. If you want to sponsor, if you want to help build, get your merchandise in the links below or join the channels, just $9.99 a month to help us continue to build this thing. Drop a super chat, drop a super like, whatever you do, any money you spend here, we're just reinvesting it back into the fighters at Fighters Rep. And listen, this thing is growing into a behemoth, Gary. We're headed into Fighters Rep 21 and 22. We're expanding into Florida, which is crazy to me. We're a multi-state promotion now. Only a matter of time before we conquer the world, Gary.
Pinky in the brain? I guess I'm Pinky.
But that's pretty much. Well, you're Pinky when you get the prediction wrong. I'm Pinky when I get it wrong. But I guess that's all we've got for you guys for this week. Remember to join me and Gary every Monday, 9 p.m. live, where we talk about the fights and everything else. Gary, anything you want to say before I let you go back to your life?
Hey, man, we appreciate you all. Keep watching. Hey, we're going to try to do more this year. We're trying to push it forward. And follow me on Instagram, Ignorant Behavior. Ignorant _behavior. Follow me. I talk a bunch of shit about football and everything. And Not just about football, but about everything. I talk shit. I'm crazy.
Yeah. So join, subscribe, like the video, and we'll talk soon. Thank you guys.